Alright, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio with our Sunday preview. Nautical elves and fiery Duradin sweep the mortal realms, but there's a surprise. Let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Warhammer. My name's Wade and I'm here to guide you through the next 7 days in your favourite hobby. Next week's Warhammer Age of Sigmar pre-orders have an elemental aspect, as the new battletomes for the Idoneth Deepkin and the Fyreslayers become available. Battletome Idoneth Deepkin contains all the background and rules for the outcast elves of the Ether Sea, including Path to Glory rules for conducting the soul raids necessary to keep their civilization alive. The Battletome is also available in a limited collector's edition, together with Idoneth Deepkin dice and war scroll cards. Battletome Fyreslayers details the history of the Duardin who consider themselves Grimnir's heirs, and their holy quest to retrieve Urgold from across the mortal realms via mercenary work. The Battletome and its collector's edition are accompanied by a set of orange Fyreslayer dice and a set of war scroll cards for reference in your games, including tokens to keep track of Urgold activations. Also available next week is the re-released Warhammer Quest Cursed City. This enormously popular dungeon-crawling board game will be made to order for 2 weeks from the 5th of March. So if you missed it when it was first released last year, you can guarantee you get a copy from next week. From the horrors of Ulfenkarn to the comparatively pleasant environment of the Wood Elf Blood Bowl pitch, which is one of the less horrific places the game of fantasy football is played. Also available alongside the pitch is the Wood Elf Team Card Pack, which contains all the star players, special play and positional reference cards available to the Wood Elf team, as well as a set of Wood Elf Blood Bowl dice. Next week, Black Library fans will be able to pick up a special edition hardback version of Ravener Rogue, which is signed and numbered by author Dan Ablett, and features a detailed map of the Segmentum Obscurus. Also available in hardback following its limited edition release last year is Ghazghkull Thraka, Prophet of the War, the definitely true story of the greatest orc war boss in history, as told by Makari the Grot through a Blood Axe interpreter, possibly two of the most unreliable narrators in fiction. This week on Warhammer Plus, you can watch episode 2 of The Exodite. Shazray Lakoma's stealth team hunt for the Eldari warrior as the war between the Imperium and the Tau Empire escalates. There's also a Citadel Colour Masterclass episode all about painting leather textures. On the Warhammer Vault, the final book of the End Times, Archaon, completes the tale of the destruction of the world that was, and it's joined by issue 470 of White Dwarf magazine. Next week on the Warhammer community website, you'll find new miniature reveals and plenty of articles, including new rules for the upcoming Fyreslayers and Idoneth Deepkin, as well as the warriors of Kill Team necromunda. To stay up to date with everything we've got going on, be sure...
Nice. So obviously the big surprise there is Warhammer Quest Cursed City coming back, but let's go ahead and check everything out. So who says elves and Duradin can't get along? Let's ignore the axes and blades they're holding behind their backs and jump into everything up for pre-order next week. So obviously Warhammer Age of Sigmar, we see the Idoneth Deepkin Battletome, we have our standard Battletome, and then of course the limited edition one as well. First up are everyone's favorite fish-wrangling elves, the Idoneth Deepkin. Shunned by their sorceress creator, these aquatic outcasts conduct bloody soul raids to keep their waning civilization alive. Battletome Idoneth features all the lore and rules you need to bring them to the tabletop, including traits for different enclaves, such as the Sea Turtle Coralling Nautilar, as well as Path to Glory rules for conducting a grand campaign of soul raids. This Battletome is also available in limited collector's edition with a soft touch cover and gold foil blocking too. Show off the sublime artwork as well as gold gilt pages and red ribbon marker. So here we see the dice coming out as well, and then of course the Idoneth Deepkin battle scroll cards. Let opponents know of your proud Achillean descent with a pack of Idoneth Deepkin dice. These aquatic gem dice are styled after the Ether Sea with the white pips and Idoneth logo on the 6. Plus, make sure you got all the eels and alopexes in a row with a pack of war scroll cards that make referencing your units a doddle. Even in the midst of battle, it also contains tokens for each of your primary abilities, letting you focus on the bigger picture. Battletome Fyreslayers as well, and again we see it's same cover, but we have the limited edition and traditional one. From foam to flames, Battletome Fyreslayers is blazing right out of the gate. bringing a whole host of changes and improvements to these short-tempered soldiers of fortune. This book is full of background and rules for fielding Grimnir's chosen sons, giving you all the tools to make the most of your muscular mercenaries and mighty magma dross, including Path of Glory rules for filling your vaults with the gleaming spoils of war. You'll be able to get into the limited collector's edition with a soft touch cover and gold foil blocking with its gold gilt pages and ribbon marker. This book is treasure fit for any magma hold. So we see the Orruk Rune Father on Magmadroth. Magmadroths are scaly offspring of Volcatrix, mother of salamanders. Grimnir slew their terrifying god beast at the cost of his own life, so it's fitting these volcanic monsters are now born and bred to fight alongside the Fyreslayers. So now you can pick up your own outside of start collecting Fyreslayers and build them as a Ruin Father, Ruin Son, or Ruin Smiter. That's specifically useful if you fancy running a whole army of Magmadroths as lizard-mounted Ruin Sons, or now battle line units for the Lofnir Lodge. So previously, you could only get the Magmadroth in the start collecting Fyreslayers, so it was priced at the same price, which was $95 at the time, and you would just get the start collecting box. So I'm assuming with this release that the Magmadroth's price will be cheaper than the start collecting box, so I imagine probably somewhere around like $75, maybe as low as like $60 depending. Sigmar stuff tends to be a little more reasonably priced, and a lot of the other like dragons and beasts are closer to like that $60 mark, but we'll see. So Fyreslayer dice and war scrolls. So here we see the orange Fyreslayer dice and the war scroll cards as well. Hollering a Duradin battle cry isn't the only way you can show your allegiance to the Fyreslayers in games of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. You can also opt to represent yourself with these fiery orange dice. No less attention grabbing, but perhaps a bit easier on the ears. Make sure you pick up a pack of the war scroll cards too, so you can tell your Hearthguard berserkers from your Orruk Hearthguard in the raging heart of battle. It's also full of tokens to track your players and abilities, such as your gold ruins. And then for Blood Bowl, we see, while the Mortal Realms are getting scorched and drenched, the gridirons of Blood Bowl are in full bloom thanks to the trifecta of Wood Elf releases. So here we see the new Wood Elf releases coming out for Blood Bowl. Most Blood Bowl pitches are some variety of mucky, from the vomit-inducing stink of Nurgle game field to boot-churned grave dirt of an undead stadium. By comparison, the Wood Elf home ground is quite pleasant and welcoming, at least until the mystical pollen floating around drives players to act of violence. Thankfully, the autumnal warning in the second half of the game and the reverse of this double-sided game board gives everyone a chance to heal up. So here we see the dice and the Wood Elf team cards. These dice look a little tough to read. Not sure that they would be... I like my dice to be very clear and easy to read. They look cool and everything, but if you can't read them, what's the point? The Wood Elf team card pack will help you blossom on the pitch with reference cards for team's players, star players, special plays, and more. Throw in a set of theme dice and you'll have Orion himself cheering at you from the stands and starting up your opponent each time you roll a 6. So new from the Black Library, fans of Golden Ravener can round out their collection of special edition hardbacks with a copy of Ravener Rogue. So obviously it looks like a very nicely published book. Nice little ribbon. Follow Eisenhorn's protege as he continues his obsessive hunt for the arch-heretic Zygmunt Moltok. The special edition is limited to 1,250 copies, signed and numbered by the author Dan Abnett, and includes a special introduction. Featuring a luxurious soft-touch cover and gold foil lettering, gold gilt page edges, and red ribbon bookmark, this limited edition also includes a detailed illustrated map of Segmentum Obscurus. For those who prefer Crumpen to conspiracies, Gazgul Thraka, Prophet of the Wa, is coming to hardback, ebook, and audiobook. Witness secondhand the story of the greatest orc war boss that ever lived, Gazgul Thraka, straight from the mouth of the most honest source in the universe, Makari the Grot. And new this week from Warhammer Plus, strap in for another pulse-pounding episode of the Exodite on Warhammer Plus this week, featuring a broadside of breathtaking Tau on the Imperial action, but that's not all. And for the record, too, obviously we know it's called The Exodite, but they did specifically say that they were searching out an eldari. So you get the impression now that obviously they're looking for an Exodite, and the Exodite is the Eldari. So that was their spoiler, not mine, but interesting nonetheless for anybody who might be interested in that. And then obviously we see from Warhammer Plus the Exodite Episode 2 Inferno, leather texture painting tutorial, and then we see a White Dwarf and Digital Archon coming as well. And then a Citadel Color Masterclass. Total War Warhammer 3 is out as well, and quite a few other things coming this week also. So that's our pre-orders for this week. The truth is, and the most important thing that I picked up from the video, obviously a little bit of diversity this week in the orders, as it has been mostly Eldari lately, but these 2 key codexes are very nice. They didn't actually in this article mention Warhammer Quest. That is very interesting. I didn't notice that it wasn't actually in this article. But we know that Warhammer Quest Cursed City is coming back. They specifically said it's from March 5th. There will be a 2-week limited pre-order window, and then it's only made to order. So you'll have 2 weeks from March 5th to pre-order it. They did not say the pricing or when it will actually be available. They previously had stated that the price increases will come out on March 7th. So if this comes out March 5th for pre-order, it's possible that it will still be available for $200 USD, which was the original amount of Cursed City when it came out before. I don't know if that's going to be the case or if they're going to hit it with the, increased pricing. I think it would be wise on their part and show some, good spirit if they brought it back at 200 at the previous available price and gave people an opportunity to get it again without raising the prices on them. I would like to see that happen. It does come out before the price hikes, but obviously like some of the Eldar stuff that has just come out is already coming out with the new price hikes in play. So like obviously codexes are normally $50. We see the new Eldar codex at $55. Previously available like Janezar Phoenix Lord was $40. We see Magan Ra coming in at $45. So we see a lot of the price increases between closer. They had said 5% on most things and 10% on books and stuff. We're seeing closer to like 10 to 15% in general. So it would not surprise me to see Cursed City come back at 220 or 240. I'd like to think that Games Workshop will show, a little bit of respect to the community and bring it back at 200 as sort of a, just keeping it real, because it was really their fault that there was a blunder to begin with. So hopefully they're not going to make those who missed out on it have to pay a premium to get it now. The fact of the matter is, it's loaded with great miniatures. I haven't played the actual game, but there is a ton of models inside, a ton of value in that box set. So regardless, you have to determine, is it worth it, regardless if it's going to be 200 or slightly more. But I do love the models from that set, and I do think it's a great value. So for $200, definitely going to pick that up. Awesome. If it comes out for more than that, I don't know if people want to pay, 220 or 240, or maybe Games Workshop will get crazy. I think 240 is probably the most it will be USD, but realistically, we can expect it to be between 200 and 240. Probably, I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt that it comes back for 200. So, but that is it for this week. Make sure that you do get a copy of that Games Workshop pre-order Cursed City if you wanted that. Also, we have obviously the Fyreslayer and Idoneth getting some cool new battletomes, definitely long awaited, and then hopefully we'll get a preview soon of what other battletomes are coming. But make sure you do get the made to order. I will let you guys know if I find out anything else about specifically when those will be coming out. But as of now, we just know the pre-order date is from March 5th for a 2-week period, and they will be made to order. So there's probably going to be a delay from when we order them to when we actually receive them. Sometimes those pre-order, made to order orders will come immediately, or they'll have a certain amount of them available immediately, and then fill the remaining orders later on. Typically, we see within a couple weeks they will come out, but up to like a 6-month delay, depending on how much demand there is. So we shall wait and see. Lately, nothing has really been selling out. None of the new releases, limited box sets, anything like that have been selling out. So I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. I think if you order a copy of Curse City pre-order during that 2-week period, you'll be able to get it in a relatively quick time. But again, that is just speculation. I'll let you know if I find anything else out, and I'll obviously be back with a pricing update as soon as I find out the official prices this week. So keep your eyes open for that. But that is it for today. If you like this type of content, all kinds of reactions, reviews, unboxings, of course we are a commission studio, so we show off commissions as they go out of the studio, do all types of painting, magnetization, converting, and lighting tutorials for everything from Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and of course Warcry as well. Make sure to like and subscribe. I am Warhammer Man. It's Warhammer Man Studios. Let me know down below if you have any comments, questions, anything like that. Always like to hear from you guys and appreciate all the positivity in the community. But that's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, and I'm out of here.